In the beautiful state of Maine, you'll find some of the most majestic forests in North America. But that vast emptiness comes at a price. Some rural communities are so isolated that there are no public schools. In those areas, parents are given vouchers to choose either a nearby public school or a private school for their children. It's a sensible system, with one rather sinister flaw. Maine tells parents that they may not use those vouchers to send their children to what it calls a sectarian school, which means in practice, schools that vigorously promote Christian values. But now, after decades of discrimination, that may be about to change. Parents, David and Amy Carson, wanted to send their daughter to the Christian school in Bangor, Maine that they themselves attended. They're high school sweethearts. Their part of Maine doesn't have a public high school, but the state refused them access to its tuition assistance program because the school is Christian, and so the Carsons had to pay the tuition themselves. That was tough for them. As the Catholic mother of 10 kids, I know all about the challenges of affording private religious education. So I was delighted when the Carsons, joined by another couple in a similar situation, Troy and Angela Nelson, decided to confront Maine's discriminatory policy and take their fight all the way to the Supreme Court, which this year will decide whether Maine's sectarian rule violated their constitutional rights. First, some background. This is much bigger than Maine. At least 37 states discriminate against parents who want their children to attend religious schools, and specifically Catholics, in this way. They have what are known as Blaine Amendments, named after a congressman, James G. Blaine, coincidentally from Maine, who in 1875 tried and failed to amend the U.S. Constitution to introduce a federal ban on public money going to religious schools. When the federal amendment failed, states around the country passed their own anti-Catholic Blaine Amendments as a weapon with which to crush the growth of Catholic parochial schools. Maine's anti-sectarian rule is more recent, but it's definitely a weapon, now being used against schools that reject progressive ideologies. The two main Christian schools involved take a conservative line on sexuality and won't change their deeply held beliefs in order to receive public funds. Both a federal district court and the First Circuit Court of Appeals have ruled against the parents, arguing that the state paying their school fees would have breached the separation of church and state. This case, Carson v. Macon, is being fought aggressively by both sides. Progressive lobbyists in particular are horrified by the idea that the Supreme Court might uphold the right of schools with what they call discriminatory views to receive public money. They're busy caricaturing the Maine parents and Christian schools as bigoted, a label they slap on anyone who challenges the approved line on gender ideology. Although the Maine case doesn't specifically involve a Catholic school, the implications for Catholic parents are huge. All over the country, church schools are being targeted by a secular alliance of liberal politicians, left-leaning media, and teachers' unions. Now is the moment to act. Catholic parents should find out if some form of a Blaine Amendment operates in their state, and if it does, follow the brave example of the Carsons and the Nelsons. Remember that school choice is not just a political issue. One of the most sacred responsibilities of parents is to make decisions regarding the education of their children. Let me leave you with a quotation. As those first responsible for the education of their children, parents have the right to choose a school for them which corresponds to their own convictions. That doesn't come from a conservative organization that advocates for school choice. It's from the Catechism of the Catholic Church. I'm Andrea Picciotti-Bayer of the Conscience Project for Edify. If you'd like my Edify video, you'll love this next video to my left. Thank you for watching.